Hello, welcome back. Today we're going for an Outcast discussion. It's a bit early for that, but I think really, trade threat has really been rising recently, and as really an MCS is going to continue to progress off to the south and east. Pretty much a significant widespread damaging wind risk is going to arise from it, and also large hail too. Long-lived damaging wind event could be on the line for today. As Early in the morning MCS continues to track off to the south and east, and it's a wind-driven enhanced risk. No tornadoes are really expected now, with some hail, especially significant across much of the high plains going into Dakotas. And you can see this MCS really tracking off to the south and east. It's going to continue to really strengthen throughout the next few hours. I think any signs of weakening right now doesn't really seem on the table right now. We're seeing pretty much sufficient shear across the region. Effective shear up to 30, 40, well, 30, 40, maybe even close to 50 knots. But, we see basically two separate really areas, and we see a timer going behind that, and that's probably going to deal with the main MCS really soon. And it's really a big time MCS actually active, and you can see those overshooting tops. Pretty big deal at this very moment. So we're seeing pretty much 35, 40, 45 knots of effective shear, 4,500 millibars. Mainly weaker, 500 millibar flow around 25, 30 knots. Pretty much weaker as you go further off to the south and east, which could be a time of a downfall of the system, but downstream temperatures are well in the 80s, really sufficient dew points around the lower 70s, but going along that boundary, that's where you really see the much greater dew points across the region. Mainly mid 70s, going to upper 70s, maybe some low 80s in some regions, some places. So what we're seeing is quite extreme instability. We've already seen that already. 3,500 joules per kilogram mixed layer instability. I think the recent watch, it's pretty close to PDS actually. You can see scattered damaging winds, isolated gusts up, significant gusts up to 90 miles per hour, and 70% chance of a 10 or more severe wind event, and one or more severe wind event of over 65 knots or 74 miles per hour. So we've already seen this is probably already producing significant damaging winds, but as we continue to see really destabilization, we can see those mixed layer K values rising 4,000, probably close to widespread 4,000, 4,500, maybe even close to 5,000 joules per kilogram, right along that boundary. And it's the main issue. Sure, it's basically the main issue in the long term, but right now it's looking pretty good. So as we see, it's hybrid that pretty much convective enhanced perturbation over the Montana North Dakota border. 40 to 50 knots of 500 millibar flow. Really strong downdraft instability. Well over 1,000 joules per kilogram downstream. So I think more significant gusts there's some more potential for some significant gusts, and we already seen one severe wind report, significant wind report over in Dewey, South Dakota, estimated winds are around 70 to 80 miles per hour, as well as some tennis ball sized hail. So that's quite interesting. But again, we have an enhanced risk going into southeastern North Dakota, going as well as in northeastern Nebraska, going to southwestern Minnesota, as well as in northwestern Iowa. I think a widespread damaging wind threat is going to evolve up until really dark, it seems. I think due to lack of shear, it's probably going to be decaying probably well overnight. So, I guess that's it, and I guess I'll be back. But definitely a derecho threat, definitely evolving now. Throughout the next few hours. So, anyways, apart from that, it's really bye.